All right, this video is going to show you your various options for creating and scheduling content in Lesson Launchpad. So you'll see I have created two sample classes over here, just we have a first period and a second period. When I create each of these classes, you automatically get a sample announcement and a little sample text editor box here. So the first thing you need to know when creating content and scheduling content in Lesson Launchpad is the concept of active dates. And all an active date is that's just telling Lesson Launchpad, hey, I want this piece of content to appear on my screen on this day. This is how you're going to schedule future content. It's also going to be what allows you to go back and look and see what you did maybe at this time last year. So that way you don't have to reinvent the wheel every year. This text editor box and this announcement both came with active dates of Friday, August 29th, because that's the date they were created on. So for example, you'll see down here, if I go forward a day, both of those things disappear. There's no longer an announcement up here, and now it says no content scheduled. That's because there's no content scheduled for this date, because this text editor box and this announcement both were set with an active date of Friday, August 29th, because that's the date they were created on. So I can change this in various ways. So I'm going to show you, if you go to options right here, click and then set active dates. Here are all of your options for changing the active date for a content box. So we'll see you've got a date picker here where you can set any sort of range of days. You can click +1 and it'll go to the next day. You can add a week to that. You can go back to today. Tomorrow is kind of the same thing as +1 day. You've got this week, next week, all sorts of options here. If you want a box, if you've got like something you do every Monday that you just want to appear every Monday, you can select Monday and it's going to appear every single Monday. So that's how active dates kind of work. So let's see that in action here. Let's say I want to move this box to Saturday for whatever reason. So I'm going to say Saturday. +1, save active dates. Now it's disappeared, but if I go to Saturday, it's there. Okay? So let's set up kind of just a sample scenario here where it's Friday. We're going to get ready for next week. So I'm going to move my active date picker here to Monday, September 1st. Now, most of you are probably out of school on Monday, September 1st, but we're just going to go with this for now. If you don't want to do Monday, September 1st, you can do Tuesday, September 2nd. So we're going to click the launch button because that's where we add content from. Click add content box, and we're just going to use a text editor box here just because it's easy to label, but this applies to any of the various box types. All of them have the same active dates options. They're all assigned active dates. They all work the same way. So text editor box, we're going to call this Monday's agenda. So let's say I set up this agenda for Monday, and that's great. I love that agenda. I want to use the agenda on Tuesday, right? Okay, well, let's just set the active date to Tuesday. So we're going to click +1 day, save active dates. Oh no, where did my agenda go? Well, I just moved it to Tuesday, right? So now it's on Tuesday. There it is, Monday's agenda, but now it's gone from Tuesday. Like, oh, well, I wanted it on Monday too. So let me go here. And what if I do September 1st and September 2nd? So now it's going to appear on both of those days. Great. However, the problem here is if you go to Tuesday and say, oh, well, this is now Tuesday's agenda. So let me rename this Tuesday's agenda. Great. Perfect. It's Tuesday. There's Tuesday's agenda. Oh, wait, let me go back and see what we did on Monday. Wait, Monday now says Tuesday's agenda as well. And that's because this is the same box. All right, so when you change the active date of a box, it's the same box. So any edit you make on Tuesday is also going to appear on Monday and vice versa. So now if I go back, change this to Monday, great, I'm back again, go to Tuesday. Wait, now it says Monday again. All right, and that's because active dates literally just says, I want this same box to appear on these days. A visual representation would be this. So here's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I've added a content box. And then when I change the active dates, so in this example, I change the active dates to be Monday through Wednesday. This is the same box, right? So any edit I make on any of these days is going to appear on all of those days. And that use case is very valid for some boxes. You know, if you had like a class logo or something that you wanted to just appear every single day, you could add it to a box, go in here, set active dates, and we want this to appear the whole year. Or better yet, we want this to appear until 2099. So now literally that box would appear every single day between now and September 2nd, 2099. Okay? So there are use cases for this. That's why it exists. But just be aware that changing the active date, if you change content on any of those days that the box is active, it's going to appear on all of those boxes. So a better way to do this, and just so I don't get us confused here, I'm going to delete this box and we're going to start fresh here. So we're going to click launch. Notice we're on Monday, September 1st. Launch, add content box, text editor box. We'll say Monday's agenda again. And let's say I have some items down here. Item number 1, item number, if I can press the right key, and item number 3. Great. I like this format. I did a lot of work on this agenda, and I basically want to use this same concept tomorrow for my agenda as well. Well, instead of doing active dates, in this situation, you probably want to copy it because the goal is probably that you're going to change these agenda items, but you don't want to change them on Monday as well. You want them to be separate on Tuesday. So in this case, we're going to choose the duplicate box option, and we're going to do it to the same class. So first period, copy. Great. Now it's on the same day. Well, we can very easily change the active date of this one 2 + 1 day. So now it's on Tuesday. So now we have a Monday agenda, and we still have a Monday agenda because we just copied it. But now, if we do Tuesday's agenda, you'll see that this is separate now. So we have a Tuesday agenda, and we have our Monday agenda. So now we could go in here, and we could add an item number 4 on Tuesday, and we'll go back to Monday, and see that item number 4 does not appear on Monday because now these are 2 different boxes. So back to over here, we started with a content box. We made a copy of it for Tuesday, and notice at first the content was basically the same. It was a separate box, but the content was the exact same. And then we edited it, and now it's its own complete thing. Different content, different box, all of that, okay? So that is copying. And that's probably what you mostly want to do. By the way, the announcements, they're not up here anymore because, remember, our announcement was created on Friday, August 29th, so it does not carry over. But active dates work the same exact way for announcements, okay, or the marquee content. So let's talk about another way to do this. So I'm going to go to Tuesday here. Most of the time, you're probably not just going to have one box on your screen, and so it can get a little cumbersome to have to individually go in here and copy each box. So there is a copy screen option. And before I do that, let me add another box here. Once again, I'm just doing text editor boxes just so that way we can easily show what's going on here. And we're going to do Monday notes. So we have our Monday notes, and we'll just go ahead and add some stuff to this too. Note number 1, note number 2. Lovely. Beautiful content. So we have 2 boxes now, and once again, the idea is that we want to get these boxes to Tuesday. We don't have anything scheduled for Tuesday, so we want to easily get this to Tuesday so we don't have to reinvent the wheel tomorrow. Well, we could, once again, go in here, copy, then you have to do the same thing over here, then you'd have to move the active dates. Or you can use the copy screen option. So you're going to click launch, and then right here, copy screen. And so you're going to be presented with 2 options here. Do you want to copy the marquee content and the content boxes, or just one of these? So we don't have any marquee content currently, so I'm just going to uncheck that. But we are going to copy both content boxes. So now it's going to ask us, what class do you want to copy them to? Because we could copy these to some of our other classes as well. For now, we're just going to choose first period. And then we're going to choose pick active dates. If we leave the active dates the same, we're just going to end up with 2 more boxes just like this on Monday, September 4th. So we'd have 4 boxes on our screen. But we want to copy these to a new active date of tomorrow, Tuesday. So we're going to click +1 date, next summary, confirm all of this, finish and copy. So now if we go to Tuesday, we'll see it looks the same, but it's not the same. These are different boxes now, and we can edit these. So instead of Monday notes, we're just going to say Tuesday. And right here, Tuesday's agenda. So you'll see now if I go to Monday, we have Monday's agenda and Monday notes, and Tuesday's agenda and Tuesday's notes. So you can kind of mix and match this. So let's do one more example here. So now we've got these 2 boxes on their own active dates. Let's add one more box that's going to be the every day box. There we go. Okay, so now this box, it was just created on Monday, September 1st, so it's only going to be on Monday, September 1st, but we want this box to be every day this week. So we're going to go to set active dates, and from here we could, select an end date, or we could just put, now if I put this week right now, notice it's going to change to August 25th through August 29th because I'm doing all of this on the 29th, so it thinks this week is this week. So in this case, I would put next week. We're going to click Save Active Dates, and you'll see if I go to Tuesday, there's my everyday box there as well. And now if I go to Wednesday, the everyday box is there because that's the only thing I've scheduled for Wednesday at this point. Okay, so you can see how that works. By the way, one other little feature that you may be unaware of here is you can toggle these on and off. So like let's say we want this box here, but we don't always want it on the screen. Well, you can click on the little tab down there and it disappeared. So now I can click here and bring it back, make it disappear, that sort of thing. Alrighty, let's, just so we don't confuse the subject, I'm going to delete this box. Keeping in mind, this box had active date set for every day this week, so deleting it here will delete it from all those other days because it's the same box. So, just to prove that out, there you go. All right, one other thing you can do, and actually let's talk about this first. Let's say we want to, we have another class, second period, that's basically going to be very similar to this for second period. So we can use the copy screen option there. So I'm going to go to copy screen. We're going to choose content boxes, pick classes. So in this case, we're going to copy them to second period. And we're just going to keep it the same day here because we're copying Monday's stuff to Monday in another class. So I'm going to click summary, we're copying it to second period, and we're copying it to Monday, September 1st. Finish and copy. So now if I go to second period, you'll see I've got the same content. So now we're in second period, and now we're in first period. Looks the same, right? Now, these boxes are separate. So let's say Monday for second period needed an item number 4 and a note number 3. Well, now if I go back to first period, you'll see those items and notes do not appear in first period because these are completely separate boxes, right? They're not they're not the same, okay? Kind of like the active date thing. Now, you can make it to where changes in one of these boxes will appear in the other. So I'm going to delete both of these boxes, and I'm going to show you how that works. So we're going to go back to first period now. Once again, the use case here is, all right, I want these 2 boxes to appear in second period, and any change I make in these boxes, I want to also appear in second period. So my changes in one class appear in another class. Well, to do that, you're going to create linked boxes. And so we're going to go to the options drop down here, and we're going to go down here to make linked box. And you'll see it gives you classes where you can link them in. So we're going to click second period, and I'm going to click link box. And I'm going to go ahead and do this for the other box too, just so our screens look similar. Link box, link. So now you'll see when we go to second period, we've got the same boxes here. We've got Monday's agenda, Monday notes. So first period, Monday's agenda, Monday's notes. But you'll see if we add an item number 4 here, now if we go to second period, there's our item number 4. Okay, so same thing. Now I'm in second period, and I'm going to add note number 3, and I would expect this note number 3 to now also appear in first period, and it does. So that's how linked boxes work. So just a little visual here. I added a content box for Monday class number 1, and then I linked it in class, in this case just class number 2, but I could have done it in multiple classes as well. And so the same content is now going to be stretched across multiple classes here. Okay, so that's how linked boxes work. So between changing your active dates, copying classes, and linking boxes, copying boxes and linking boxes, you can see how you can schedule content to make everything kind of work. And then also, once again, you do have the copy screen option. So that way, if you have multiple classes that kind of look the same, you can very easily create content without having to reinvent the wheel every single day.